Hello, welcome in to my sunny lounge. The sun is shining and this just feels like the perfect spot to be speaking to you today about radiance and also magnetism. Today I'm going to share with you the two modes that I operate from, that you can also operate from, to create your reality: radiance and magnetism. I want to speak about why these two things work in unison, why the most effective way to create your reality, to bring your body of work into the world, is to utilize both of these in harmony, in balance. What I'm really speaking to is the feminine and the masculine, and the overarching kind of energetic theme here is the universal law of rhythm. Now, I have a lot to say on rhythm, but I'm going to try and keep this succinct to this specific teaching about magnetism and radiance. Let's dive into both of them separately first, and then we're going to weave them together to see how they complement each other. Magnetism. I'm speaking to you today about magnetic rest. This is your feminine energy. Doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman or whatever you identify with. This is an energy that we all hold inside of us. We all hold the feminine and the masculine. And in fact, the unity of these two energies is what is happening throughout our ascension. It is the rise of the divine feminine to come back into balance with the masculine and to uplift both. To see them as companions, partners, not the same thing. They are not the same thing. And the reason I'm highlighting that is because sometimes we can lean further into our feminine or lean further into our masculine. And it doesn't really matter which one you associate with. For me, I'm definitely leaning more into my feminine, especially in business and in life in all ways, actually. But the reason I am aware of this feminine energy that I lead with is because I see the downfalls of me not balancing my masculine energy with my feminine. My feminine energy is very connected to my intuition, to my creativity, to flow, to expansion, to vision. My masculine energy is here to deliver that vision, is here to ground everything that I'm receiving intuitively, is here to be consistent, to be a container that can deliver your work into the world, here to bring the structure, here to bring the groundedness of your message. Something that really beautiful that came through for me the other day when I was channeling all of this information about the law of rhythm was that the feminine's gift to the masculine is vision, and the masculine's gift to the feminine is execution. So executing or creating your work in the world needs to be fed by this life force, this juicy vision that the feminine brings. And the feminine needs the masculine to execute, to put things into place, to bring the structure, to ground the work in the world, because it needs to be here. And we all dance between these all of the time, the masculine, the feminine, the rest, and the action. So let's speak about the feminine first, since that's kind of how I lead in my life and in business. So this is magnetic rest. When you are in a state of magnetic rest, you are in a state where you're allowing your body to be in a place of softness, a place of not needing to do anything. This is a state of being. Magnetism is about being in your body. This is a place where things can drop in. You might receive downloads, you might receive visions, you might receive actual people coming into your world and into your work in this place. This magnetism is a very internal energy. It's an energy of what I like to see as the void. But it's not always a negative thing. A lot of us are in the void. We move through the void throughout our life, throughout our soul work, throughout the month. And the void is a really magical place. It's a deep feminine territory, being in the void. Yes, sometimes it's uncomfortable because it can feel like a lot is happening kind of energetically, or you're receiving a lot, but there's no clarity. There's no way to ground it. And that is by design. You move into the void, you receive, and then you move out of the void and you place things into action. You take the action from there. So being in this feminine, magical place is being in a state of magnetism, magnetic rest. How can I see this in an example in my life? When I am putting my babies to bed. So both of my babies have been co-sleepers. Mary is going to be 2 in a few months. And so when I'm lying beside her to get her off to sleep, I am in a state of magnetic rest. So I am resting my body. I'm allowing myself to just receive this quiet time, this moment of spaciousness. And more often than not, I will start intuitively receiving. There'll be downloads that come in, there'll be information, there'll be guidance to say, take this step, do that thing, and I just allow it all to come. This is an example of magnetic rest. Now let's talk about radiant action. I love this because sometimes we think about the masculine, especially if you identify as a really feminine woman and a person in business who leads with their feminine, we can be triggered by this masculine piece, by the consistency, by the assertiveness, by the goal setting. Like this can actually cause that feminine energy to go, no thanks. And this is actually part of a deeper interplay of the feminine and the masculine that we won't go there because that's for another time. That's a whole other thing. But the reason I like to call this radiant action is because this is taking action from a place of being lit up, being excited, bringing your energy, your full force. And that magnetic rest is actually the place you need to be in order to charge up your field, in order to come back into this juicy place where you can take radiant action. You don't need to take action for the sake of being consistent if that energy is not there, if you're not plugged into that life force. Because more often than not, that action will kind of fall flat, or it won't be articulated the way you thought it would, or that full transmission of your energy won't be felt because it's literally not there, because you are performing in order to be consistent. And that is not radiant action. That is not that true divine masculine energy. The divine masculine takes that feminine vision and shares it, expresses it in the world. And this comes through your energy, comes through how you speak, how you share things, where you place yourself, the environment you're in, what you create, how you express, how you share. And so taking radiant action means that when you are stepping into action, it can feel good. It can feel exciting. It can actually not drain you, but fill you up even more. It can actually be a real activation of your field. It can be a space where you get to give, but you're also receiving at the same time because you are amplifying this energy within you. Radiant action. These two things are part of this bigger rhythm that is at play. And this is the universal law of rhythm, which says that all things have a season, all things have a purpose. The winter, the summer. So often when we move into this kind of void space or this inner winter where we feel like nothing's happening or we're not clear about what the next step is, and I get it, I've been in the void so many times, and actually I have a lot to say about the void, but we'll again save that to another time. This is actually your magnetic rest period. This is the moment where you are actually if you lean into this space, instead of seeing it as something uncomfortable that you're trying to move through or that you're trying to push through or you're trying to force the clarity to come so you can get out of the void, no. If you can receive from the void, there is gold there. This is your magnetic rest period. It means that while you rest, while you receive, while you allow your body to integrate, the energy that is moving through you, it means that when you step into that season of action, when you step into that season of momentum, you will have the reserves to go far. You will be able to ride that wave. Think of it like surfing. I'm not a surfer, but I can imagine if you are not physically, in a great place, if you're not rested, you don't have that energy to ride the waves, to catch the waves and get on and go as far as you can go. And that is what the radiant action is about. It's about, yes, expansion, because it's about how good can this feel as I deliver it to the world? How far can we take this? How much momentum can we build until we are called back into that magnetic rest period, that feminine period, because this can happen too. We get into that momentum. We're feeling it. We're feeling excited. We're putting our things into the world. We're being consistent, doing all the things that we think we should do. And then our energy goes, doo. And we go, oh, I've lost it. Where did it go? The vision I was so connected to, it doesn't feel like it's there anymore. It's there. But this is the law of divine rhythm. Everything that comes up must come down. Everything moves in this energetic wave, this form of peaks and lows, of inner growth and external growth. When we are in that momentum phase and we're seeing the external growth happening, we're getting excited about it, and then our energy starts to wane. And we can do two things. We can go, oh shit, I've done something wrong. I need to get this going again. I need to force myself to continue this momentum that I've created. And then we can push ourselves to burnout because we're not allowing that magnetic rest. We're not coming back into that low period, that integration period, that period where we are being restored, where we are receiving in order to ride the next wave. We feel like we need to keep going and maintaining what we've been generating. And this is how we start to dip down into that void, that low space, for longer than need be. We stay there because we're trying to escape. You can't escape the void by not going into the void. The only way through the void is to go deeply into it. I had a vision the other day from the two guides that have stepped forward. Yeshua and Mary Magdalene. She showed me the void as a tunnel. I think I had been imagining it in my mind as like a cave that you kind of crawl into, and it's dark, and it's like this womb space, this void, and it can feel confusing and clunky, and you don't know who you are, you don't know what you want. Deep feminine territory, I told you. But she said, it's not a cave, it's a tunnel. And when you go deeper into that cave, you'll see that actually it's a tunnel that you are moving through, that actually this is your metamorphosis moment, and you are about to break through to the other side as somebody different, as a new version of yourself. That is the gift of the void. What a freaking gift that we get to experience what we came to create and move with this universal law of rhythm. I am running a 4-week program. It's really a movement around this concept of rhythm and moving with your rhythms and actually trusting your rhythms, because this is the thing. So many of us are feeling called to move in business in this way, but we don't trust that it's going to yield results. We don't trust that we're going to be doing it right. And let me ask you this. What if Your soul was guiding you, your body was guiding you. What if you already knew? And the only thing that you had to do differently was to trust that rhythm, to go all in on the way that you've been shown to build. This is the space that I'm holding you in throughout Soul Rhythm Expansion Method. This is the 4-week experience that I am bringing out at the end of this month, 18th of July. So if you'd like to join, if you want some more information about it, then I'll put some below. This is all about your magnetic rest, your radiant action, and bringing your soul wake into the world through this divine rhythm. This is the way that we build sustainably. This is the way that we stay in flow within ourselves. This is the way that we move into the void, we gather the gold, and we move out of the void, and we express in a much clearer way. We express in a more potent way. I'm so excited to share it with you, but I hope that this has landed with you in some kind of way. And if you find yourself, or if you know that you are a deeply feminine kind of leader in your life or in your business, I see you. I am exactly the same. And my work is honing in on this exact thing. And actually it's bringing this framework of unity consciousness of the feminine and the masculine together in order to create the heaven on earth that you came to create, that we all came to create. Thank you so much for being here. I hope the sun rays have kind of moved through the camera somehow today, and I'll see you next time. Bye.